Hello everybody, welcome to my channel today, and today I'm going to talk about how did I learn ancient Egyptian hieratic as ancient Egyptian did 1,000 years ago. It is awesome experience and I hope you can enjoy the video too. But before we start our journey today and hop on school bus, let's talk about hieratic first. I won't be surprised if some of our viewer today can read hieroglyph. And you might already have read some hieroglyph in the museum collections just to surprise your friends and family with a little superpower. Or maybe you can't. I mean, why not? The world is a big place that there are many things to do and you don't really know how to read hieroglyph. It's okay. Maybe you haven't seen that before, in computer games, movies, and in museums too, and you think it's pretty good, right? But look at this one. Try to read this one. And look at it. Do you think this is as cool as hieroglyph that you read or see in the movies or in a museum? Honestly, I don't, because those were actually written in our man today, hieratic. But you may ask, why should we write like that? We have hieroglyph. So what's wrong with hieroglyph? You see, the hieroglyph is mostly used for monuments. All the job is to be carved in there and be looking good for eternity. For most of the time in your life, when you look at Egyptian text, 99% of a chance you're looking at the text written in hieroglyph. But you really don't want to write your essays, thesis, or homework in hieroglyph because they're really hard to draw and gonna take a long time. Imagine that you're doing that in the hot summer of ancient Egypt. Really, don't do it. And here comes hieratic to save the day. Basically, this is a script that helped ancient Egyptians to write faster with the hieroglyph system. They can write it with anything. Stories, prescriptions, letters, and math question? Ugh, but whatever. So there are many interesting stuff that actually lurking behind these mysterious scribbles. Actually, hieratic is as old as the hieroglyph, but its name hieratic, we know today, came in almost 3,000 years after its first appearance in history. It's a Greek word, hieratica, means priestly, probably because it was written, for religious texts or something like that. But you don't have to be an ancient Egyptian priest to learn hieratic or write and read it. In fact, many of my colleagues and friends can read it like reading newspaper. Seriously. Yeah, like that. I try my best to catch up to learn hieratic, and here's what I'm doing about 4 years ago. Oh, actually 5 years ago, is to see how the hieratic was written. But it didn't work out. So it came to me one day. How did Egyptians do that? What method they used to learn hieratic? I mean, if they did that 1,000 years ago, why can't I? So off the library, I dig up some research. Rather unfortunately, Egyptians left no textbooks like ours. But we can still know about their training methods by looking at the homework students left behind. You see, like many ancient cultures, Egyptian students learned how to write by copying text again and again and again and again. So there are many copies left behind by students, more than their dog can eat. These texts were written on limestone flakes, pottery sherd, which we call ostraca, and also papyrus scroll or fragment. From these, scholars get to know the Egyptian way of training the Padawan. Modern Egyptology students learn hieroglyphs first, and then learn hieratic. But for ancient Egyptian, they start with hieratic, and some of them know hieratic only for the entire life. Some evidence suggests that some of them have difficulties in reading hieroglyph. Students usually write entire words or phrase without learning the component signs. And grammar, nobody teaching that. And they probably also read or even sing the text aloud. Because don't forget, for the long time in the history, reading silently is a little bit bizarre. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy a line from Hieratic Papyrus now in St. Petersburg, telling the story of the shipwrecked sailor. William Clay Poe has done an amazing job in picking every line from the papyri and have given them transliteration so I can check whether I have read the line correctly. Nice. I'm going to pretend I have no knowledge of hieroglyph at all. Reading and copying hieratic parts only. And I'm going to memorize every line and only push forward when I have fully mastered what I have learned. This will last for 30 days, and I'm going to spend 30 to 40 minutes every day. That is about 15 to 20 hours of the learning in total. And now for the writing material, I can't really afford the papyri sheet, it's way too pricey. So I'm going to use the parts from the cartoon paper box, a perfect parallel to the potsherd ancient time, and also the good news for my flower pots. And for pen, Egyptians used the rush pen and later reed pens. I'm a little bit lazy, so here I'm using a fountain pen with a broad nib, so I don't really have to dip my pen into ink. Well, the first 2 days were actually pretty hard and exhausting. I constantly fought against my temptation to look at the hieroglyph part and then continue writing. And on a third day, the weather was unbelievable hot. That was the hottest day in London, actually. And my mind was not always clear when I write. So think about those Egyptian scribes who wrote in hot Egyptian summer. It must be not easy. Exhaustion must be true to both ancient and modern students alike. This ancient teaching basically taught students to toughen up in training. And with that intimidating teaching in my mind, I carry on and I stay certain I can write in confidence and recite everything I have memorized. But learning new things every day is impossible. Let's look at the table here. You can see I stop learning new signs and lines every few days. And also, the number of signs I mastered explode in first 2 or 3 days, but it grows to slow down. And to the end of my 30-day session, I can read a new hieratic sentence from the story if there's new words. Remember that I only write for 20 hours in total. The training in ancient time might be much longer, a student can master their reading faster than me. And of course, there are many beating. Interestingly, I show some similar symptoms found among ancient scribes. First, when I'm adding hieroglyph sign for this video, I have some difficulties in writing certain words in hieroglyph. When these words pop in my mind, it's basically in hieratic now. And hieroglyph spelling is a little bit fuzzy. I also made mistakes in writing like ancient people did. Ouch. No. Oops. No. Alright. Well, sometimes mistakes were repeated. Let's have a look at this one here. I copied one sentence for 9 times. See something wrong? Okay, let's see. The first 2 here are in red. They are correct. And the rest of them are not. Can I spot my mistakes? See that? From the third sentence onward, I dropped a little throwing stick sign in the word minute. Well, that mistake is surely embarrassing, but sometimes there's even worse. Sometimes an entire sentence is forgotten. Check out the sentence in red. And now compare with the original. Can you spot the entire sentence in black? Ich worshipped is completely gone. So, did ancient way of training works on me? I think yes. Essentially, it's a drill. I learned to read and write by repeating. It taught my body to write, not my brain alone. And today, we still use a similar way to train our children to write. Apart from learning an ancient writing system 1,000 years away from us, our difference with ancient Egyptian might be pretty small after all. And that's it, folks. A little endeavor to train myself to write hieratic like ancient Egyptian did 1,000 years ago. Feel free to leave a comment or subscribe. And remember, poison sauce is not poisonous. It's awesome. See you next time.